Hello and welcome. My name is Christoph Pütz and I'm your IT career guide. In today's video I want to talk about the 5 most critical skills that you will need to succeed with your IT career. But before we get started, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button and hitting the like button underneath the video, I would really appreciate it. It helps me with YouTube and making this content available for more people. So now let's have a look at the 5 most critical skills that you need to succeed in information technology. So the first most critical skill is pretty much not just applying to information technology, but to life in general. And this skill is really to embrace change. So working in information technology, change is always happening. Technology is developed quicker, it needs to be implemented faster, and your overall environment is really just changing all the time. If in 5 years you are doing the same type of work that you are doing today, then you are doing it wrong. So change really is important to embrace, and it will change the way how you work and how you deliver results. And in the end, this will mean a more positive outcome for your career, better results for the companies that you work for, or if you're self-employed, of course. And in the end, a much more fulfilling career and fulfilling work life for you. So change, embrace it, live it, breathe it. It's critical for your success. Related to change is really the need to cultivate your passion for learning. Learning and studying new technologies. Learning and studying for new ways of working. It's so critical that you adapt to new ways, that you adapt to new technologies. And it's not just the change that these technologies bring, but you need to understand them. And it's also critical that you really start stepping away from being too specialized, because it locks you in and you might not see the bigger picture, or you leave important pieces out. So sometimes it's better to be that generalist and then just go deep for certain projects or for certain areas, but keep that back door open because you want to look at the bigger picture. And by learning and studying, it really widens your horizon and helps you to make better decisions and also be able to back up these decisions. And then the third one, and you will see a pattern that these 3 skills are really sitting on top of each other. So innovation is so critical. So we're doing too many things old school IT wise, and we're just leaving innovation on the side a little bit. And that shows in the results that you deliver. Yes, you might deliver decent or good results, but there's a difference between good and outstanding results. Look at the successful companies around you, especially let's take a look at Silicon Valley. The companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter and others, why are they in the position where they are? Because they're innovating. Look at Microsoft for a while. Microsoft in the early beginnings was innovating. They were driving change. They were really enabling businesses to suddenly work with a GUI, a graphical user interface. And then they lost their mojo a little bit, and they were just like from the early 2000s till about 2010-ish and maybe a little later even, they were just like, they were there, but they were not innovating. They were not delivering really new technologies that were really just breathtaking. And then Microsoft found its mojo again, and now they're so big in cloud technologies and one of the driving factors there, and really moving the needle forward and making change so that it's really fun to work with Microsoft products. So the innovation that they are driving is so different compared to before, and that could also reflect on your career. So let's say if you are just drifting and doing good stuff, where will that reflect on your resume? How will that reflect on your resume and your work experience? Or what if you do and innovate? Yes, innovation also means leaving your comfort zone behind. But once you get used to that, it's so much easier to accept the status quo and then just move forward with it. With innovation, you will also see in the environment where you work at who is really old school IT. And I want to use this word or this terminology cautiously, but when you start pushing for innovation, you will see certain type of people fighting back against you, and they will come up with results. Oh, it's too risky. It's like, no, the company needs this and that and the productivity, and they will provide just safe results. The more people fight you, the more you know that you're on the right track, because innovation and change scares people. They're leaving their comfort zone if they have to work in that environment. And for some people, it's really just like, no, their comfort zone is where they're home, and that's what they can be good at, and that's fine. So if you're good for average results, maybe good results, then being in your comfort zone is fine. If you want to have outstanding results, results that really push the company forward, that push the envelope, that's where innovation is. And the more you are driving innovation, the more you will see certain people fighting it. You will have some that come on board right away and really embrace it because they're excited by the technology. And others are just like, no, you cannot do this. This is not how we have done it in the past. And you cannot just push through, but it's a process that you have to go through, and you have to start at one point. So innovation, innovate, just be there and do it. So now that we talked about the change and the learning and then the innovation with it, the next item really that you have to look at is to automate the stupid tasks, the dumb tasks, the repetitive type of work that can be automated. Some people are just too tied up in this work because, oh, it's so much easier if I do it. And automation also scares them again. There's another item that scares people because then they feel they become obsolete. Automation is a good thing if you use it appropriately. You don't want to automate your job away and then you don't have anything to do. You want to free up your time and your resources to do actually that innovation type of work. So start automating where you can. Use Python, use PowerShell, use scripts, use software, and automate the heck out of your environment, because the time that it gives you back, you can be so much more productive. You can be forward thinking, innovate, and drive change. So that's really where you see more results. It will be a benefit for your career when you start embracing these items. And last but not least, develop empathy, develop emotional intelligence. It's such an important critical skill, and I've fallen into this trap every once in a while myself. It's so challenging. It's a learning process. It's not easy. It's just really something that became more and more important over the last 10 years. And well, it's work in progress, as I say it. But having the empathy, putting people first, and then really developing that emotional intelligence, that as you go through meetings where you meet resistance or where you have to convince people and maybe where emotions are coming to the surface, it's so critical that you master the skill, that you can run these meetings, you can keep control over the situation and really move things forward. So for me, it's work in progress. I'm far from perfect with it. I'm getting better at it, but it's always work in progress. And I think that's important as well, because if you already feel like, oh no, I got this, I have this fully under control, you will make mistakes. And that's really the piece that you want to avoid. You do not want to make these type of mistakes, especially when it comes to people. So be considerate, show the right empathy, care about your people. It's so important. Even if you're not a manager, care about your teammates. You don't know what they're going through in their personal life or what their last performance review was. Maybe they worked so hard and the manager's just not recognizing the effort. And it reflects in their work. And that's really where you as a strong team member can come in and help and potentially even diffuse a situation. So these are the 5 skills that I really want you to embrace. And if you really go deep on these, they can change the trajectory of your career. If you look at the career and you can have an average career, you make decent money, life is good, you're somewhere in the comfort zone, that's fine. But I don't think that is you. I want you to be really embracing that change, looking at learning and studying as part of your day-to-day tasks. Then innovate. Look at new technologies. What can new technologies do? Don't always just be scared because it's risky. Nobody else has done this yet. So the companies that are really at the top, they used innovation, they drove innovation, and they were willing to take the risk. And look where they are today. Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, Netflix, and so on, Apple, of course. So these companies are innovating and they're willing to take certain risks. I'm not saying go gung-ho and just don't care about the risks. That's not what I'm saying, but you can take new technologies and be cutting edge in a safe way and still deliver outstanding results. So, and then of course, automate. Free yourself up from mundane tasks. Give yourself the time back, be productive. Become creative with your technology solutions and look over the fence and see what's happening there and how you can use that. And then last but not least, People matter. It's one of the most important skills. Empathy, emotional intelligence. Look at this and make sure that you spend enough time studying that as well. And like I said, for me, it's still work in progress. I'm far from perfect on that side. I make mistakes, but I learn from those mistakes. And hopefully over time, I feel I become better. And I am a better manager for the people that I manage and that are looking up to me, and hoping that I guide them, that I lead them through the situations and help them to have a fulfilling career. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And then of course, if you want to hit the little notification bell, then you get notified when I upload new content. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.